Ladies and gentlemen, back in 2002, Raila Amolo Odinga was the kingmaker. He was able to mobilize support and actually influence the voting patterns in favor of the late Moi Kibaki. Becoming the kingmaker at that time, it gave him some political strength. That's why subsequently he could even beat Kibaki in a yes and no campaign. He was also able to influence the development of the new constitution of Kenya, which was promulgated in 2010. Plus many other presidents who have benefited because of that moment of 2002, because it gave Raila Amolo Odinga a starting point. Ladies and gentlemen, so in relation to 2027, there has been a discussion whether who is going to be the kingmaker. So people are asking, is it Gachagua or Raila Amolo Odinga? At some point, people said, because Gachagua is in the opposition and Raila is with William Ruto, because of William Ruto's flaws, Raila Amolo Odinga loses the favor, then Gachagua becomes the official kingmaker in 2027. But now, after Raila Amolo Odinga's death, I think now the only kingmaker that we have, it is Rigathi Gachagua that is living. First of all, people could be asking, what about Uhuru Kenyatta? Uhuru Kenyatta is not politically active as such. So he does not really get in contact with the people. Like right now, if there's a scandal in government, I don't expect Uhuru Kenyatta to go and hold a press conference and say, this and that is happening in government. I don't think that can be able to happen. I expect Rigathi Gachagua, if there's a problem in government, to go and pick his message or maybe his speech and read to the people of Kenya. If there's some information he's gotten from the government, he's able to criticize directly. So in a nutshell, I feel strongly that Uhuru not being very active, he cannot be the kingmaker. He might not really influence the voting patterns. But I want to say that if Uhuru Kenyatta combines with someone like Rigathi Gachagua plus the entire opposition, then there will be a strong team against President William Ruto. And from today's relationship, I can tell Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto are not on the same page. Those people are not together. Unless things change and with time, they at least get to be in good terms. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore I can conclude here that Rigathi Gachagua is likely to be the kingmaker in 2027. But however, someone could be asking, what is this that Rigathi Gachagua has which can make him to be a kingmaker in this country? That is what I want to take you through on this particular channel. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mukwa Times, take a second or two to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, there are few factors that determine whether someone becomes a kingmaker or not. And that is what I want to take you through. Number one, first of all, you must be politically active. Either you want a seat or you have some interest that you must really be very active politically. And for heaven's sake, nobody can tell me that there's any active opposition leader than Rigathi Gachagua. It is Rigathi Gachagua always. Even when he goes to rallies with Kalonzo Musyoka, Matiang'i, you realize Gachagua steals the show. So in a nutshell, Rigathi Gachagua is very active politically, which can make him a kingmaker. You know, when someone is active, can be able to campaign, talk to people, be in charge of a crowd, and eventually be able to influence the voting patterns in this country. That's number one. Number two, Rigathi Gachagua comes from a region which has been determining who becomes the president of this country in all general elections. So as we speak today, Rigathi Gachagua is deemed, actually is now like the person whom the people of Mount Kenya have embraced as their warrior. So whoever he lays a hand on is likely to get the favor of the people of Mount Kenya. That is a clear indication that Rigathi Gachagua has been given some powers by the people of Mount Kenya, which is very crucial because now he's controlling, he's managing the region. Not really controlling, but managing, because those people don't follow leaders, but leaders follow them. So he's managing the region. So if Rigathi Gachagua is managing the region of about 5.2 million votes, then he becomes one of the strongest, actually the strongest kingmakers in the world. In Kenya, sorry. So when he becomes one of the strongest kingmakers, that means that he can determine who becomes the president in 2027. Apart from just 5.2 million within Mount Kenya, in the 10 Mount Kenya counties, there are Kikuyus outside Gusii region. Who are outside Mount Kenya region. All these Kikuyus, most of them listen to him. But I'm getting a notion that the Kikuyus outside Mount Kenya are pro-Uhuru Kenyatta. I'm yet to confirm that, but on the comment section here, you can confirm it, please. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we have someone like that, of Rigathi Gachagua controlling huge numbers of that kind, and I heard that he wants to push the registration to at least even 8 million. So then that's not a person who cannot be a kingmaker. That's a real kingmaker for this country. Now, people could be asking, Rigathi Gachagua is not a national leader. Yes, I admit at some point he might not appear to be a national leader, but Rigathi Gachagua is like a wave in the sea, in that when it comes to the first round, is somewhere it reaches. It goes back, then it rebuilds itself, then it bounces back. When it comes, it goes further, it stretches more, it covers maybe a longer distance. That is who Rigathi Gachagua is. He goes like that. Even if he's coming to Kisii, first atafika Bomet, pige campaign, arudi Kericho, arudi. But the time anafika Kisii atakuwa amekuja na momentum. And that means Rigathi Gachagua has a strategy. So as he expands his nationalism, then Rigathi Gachagua will become the best kingmaker 2027. Apart from that, if Rigathi Gachagua wakes up in the morning and says, I'm not going for presidency, I want to support what the person Kenyans want. And then if Kenyans want this and that in opposition, I support them. Rigathi Gachagua will be a darling of Kenyans, whether we like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, if also Uhuru Kenyatta decides to work with him, and then Uhuru Kenyatta steps back and allows Rigathi Gachagua to do the dirty work, eventually becomes the kingmaker of this country. So therefore, I feel Rigathi Gachagua takes the position of a kingmaker officially, after Raila Amolo Odinga's death. As if that is not enough, ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua, as we speak today, we all know that he has some qualities in politics which makes him one of the toughest leaders to face. Why? One, it's the courage, unbelievable courage that Rigathi Gachagua has. Rigathi Gachagua is the person who can call William Ruto any name so long as he's right. Any. Something that even Raila Amolo Odinga could not do. We all know that. Raila Amolo Odinga could not call William Ruto mwizi. But Rigathi Gachagua can do that comfortably. So that kind of a courage of hitting the nail on the head, it's what people like. And it is what defines a kingmaker, because he knows how to destroy an enemy. That is very critical. So in a nutshell, the courage that Rigathi Gachagua shows, it's immense. When Rigathi Gachagua comes for a rally, or maybe is planning for a rally somewhere, and then goons are prepared to be on the way probably to face Rigathi Gachagua. Oh God, you're wasting time. Rigathi Gachagua will tell you, I'm coming. You wait for us. When he was going to Meru, he heard that the goons were all over. He went there and he was able to influence the goons actually to even listen to him and eventually start chanting one term. That is the Rigathi Gachagua I'm talking about. That is the kingmaker I am talking about. So he knows how to do things. Also, this guy is a campaigner. For those who don't know Rigathi Gachagua, please, I'm sorry for you. Rigathi Gachagua can campaign, talk as an orator, and finish the enemy. If you can be able to finish the enemy, then you can be able to build a friend, to build someone, to make another president. That's what makes me feel that Rigathi Gachagua can be among the kingmakers of this country come 2027, or even the only one. Unless Uhuru Kenyatta decides to be very active more than Rigathi Gachagua. Apart from that, most of you could be wondering, before Raila Amolo Odinga used to receive information from government, including the NY scandal. For those who remember, nobody knew about it until Raila Amolo Odinga called a press conference and said 16 billion or maybe or so have been stolen, and where Anne Waiguru was implicated. Ladies and gentlemen, during that time, people are like, hey, Raila Amolo Odinga has intelligence. Rigathi Gachagua as well now as we speak, yes, intelligence. If there's somebody who has top-notch intelligence right now in the opposition, it is Rigathi Gachagua, who knows what is happening in government, who is doing it. So that is why I feel that the intelligence that Rigathi Gachagua has can be able to give him information that can make him act as the voice of Kenyans. Once he acts as a voice of Kenyans, he's able to easily influence what Kenyans are going to do, because you can't tell me he has stepped back from vying for president. He wants to support someone. And then when Kenyans are being finyoed, when they have a problem, he comes out and speaks on their behalf. And then when he asks them to vote for someone, they don't listen to him. I don't think so. They will listen to Rigathi Gachagua. I don't know what is your take about the comment section. You can share with me what you think about Rigathi Gachagua. But I feel is the kingmaker that has inherited everything from Raila Amolo Odinga. Someone was telling me that it's his ambition to be like Raila Amolo Odinga. He's controlling a region even if he's not in government. Oh, let's see what's going to unfold. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Abel Mugwa. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Keep subscribing, keep following for the videos that we do here.